Hi guys, so Bournemouth Council has issued a major incident because of the numbers of people turning up on the beaches. So let's see the damage that they have done. This is reckless behavior. This is selfish, reckless behavior. People know that the lockdown is not over yet. It won't be over until the 4th of July. The sun is out, let's head to the beach. You can't maintain social distancing with these numbers of people. The UK is going to see not a second wave, because I don't believe the first wave has actually finished yet, but you're going to see a huge spike in number of weeks because of this activity. You see this message here, think twice, too busy, head home, save lives. The councils have been begging people not to turn up. They are at breaking point. They don't have the resources available to stop people from going on the beach. They don't have the resources available to maintain the situation on the beach where people will not infringe social distancing rules. The councils have been suffering decades of, or not decades, but almost a decade of austerity. So they don't have any money left. And of course, what about the council workers who will have to go here to this beach and clean up after all of these people? And again, put themselves at risk of contacting the virus because some people couldn't bother to stay at home. Now, there have been reports of roads being blocked with traffic, people setting up illegal campsites and drinking and fighting. This is just unacceptable. But who is to blame here? Is it the government for not providing the correct messaging, not providing clear messaging, or is it just selfish people who couldn't be bothered? You see here, Brighton is a slightly better situation. You can see the people are maintaining a certain amount of distance from each other. But when they actually have to return to their vehicles, or if they have to go to the toilet, or if they want to get a drink or a snack along the side of the road, they're going to congregate and they're not going to respect social distancing. Once again, I believe that the UK is not going to see a second wave. It's going to see a spike in the current wave, the first wave. Boris Johnson talked about the end of the lockdown pretty much on the 4th of July, but we're not even at the end of June yet, and you're seeing people returning to the beaches. So the lockdown has failed, and mark my words, you're going to see a spike. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this will just be an anomaly and there will not be an increase in the infection rate. But I'm afraid it will be the case. I actually had to travel to the city of Venice today, Venice in Italy. And by chance, I said, look, I'll make a video of what I see. And I was quite surprised by what I actually saw. And I will show it now to you. And I just want you to compare it to what's happening in Bournemouth today. This is extremely worrying. Italy has left its lockdown. But you can see a huge difference between what's happening in Italy and what's happening in the UK, while the UK is still technically under lockdown. So this is St. Mark's Square. This area, you would see now, would normally be completely full of people, completely packed. But as you can see, it's pretty much empty. There's some police monitoring the situation. We have the bell tower. And then we also have St. Mark's Basilica. Now normally there would be queues up to maybe 2 hours at this time of the year to get in there. But there are no queues at the moment. It's pretty much free entry at the moment. And this whole area, this shopping arcade, would be completely full as well. Also the tables you can see here at this time of the day would be completely packed. And this area would be surrounded with pigeons. There are a few pigeons out today, but very few, because there are very few tourists. So as we can see, Venice is out of the lockdown, but at the same time it hasn't fully recovered from the impact of the lockdown. And I think it's going to take a number of months or perhaps even a year before we start to see it returning to normal. So you can see here the gondole, the gondolas, and gondole in Italian, are sitting idle, waiting for tourists, while the water, I don't know if you can see it, but the water is starting to turn dirty once again. It was much clearer at the beginning of the lockdown, but now it's starting to turn back to its normal color again. But the tourists have not returned to Venice. Most of the tourists I've seen around the city are local tourists, so people from Italy. Very few from outside Europe at all. And I think it's going to be once again a while before we see Americans, Japanese, Chinese, Russians coming back to Venice. Why not become a Patreon and enjoy access to our Discord server where we share news, chat, and have some fun? If you become a patron, you can also make video suggestions on topics that are important to you. Check it out via the link in the description.